And we are back. I have a fresh cup of tea that is sitting here, steeping at the moment. It's late, I'm tired, I have failed at this multiple times, but we are going to get it done this time. What is it? What am I doing? Well, I posted a video on how to install DOS on Proxmox and how to install Netware 4.11 on top of that. But both of those were sort of that simple, direct, I want to get it up and running quickly option. Now I'm going to go through it from beginning to end and show you how to install DOS in a more meaningful manner that's, I guess, more amenable for NetWare, meaning you don't have a huge partition and some other things. And we're going to go through the custom install on the NetWare side to show some of the options and install a few other things by the time we're done. So what are we going to do here? Install DOS. I have a 10 gig disk on Proxmox. We're going to create a 100 meg C drive partition to install DOS onto. Put the CD-ROM on there. I think we'll actually, at the end, have an exportable copy that I can post that you could import into VMware, not VMware, God, I keep saying VMware. Could you tell I've used that for years? Into Proxmox. And then we'll have Netware 4.11. The network will be working. And we'll have the disk. We're going to put in a second disk, I should say, that we will create a data volume on. And this will get you closer to, I guess, kind of a usable NetWare server, but let's go through it one by one and plow through it and see how it goes. If I screw up, I'll pause and come back and figure out. Like I said, I've failed a couple times at this already. At any rate, where do we start? Let's create a new VM like we had before. I'm going to make this ID 105 and try to remember that. Do not use any media. We are installing DOS system, default, standard VGA. We're going to go with the LSI. Disks, we only need a 10 gig. CPU 1, memory, we don't need that much. This is DOS. Network, turn off the firewall, leave the E1000, we'll change it later. Confirm, finish. So what do we need to do now? Let's hop over to our PVE. And let's look at 105.conf. First thing we need to do is add a floppy. And in this case, I'm going to use a DOS boot disk that I picked up somewhere off the internet, such as a basic boot disk. I'll try and, I'll try and post that as well, but you can find any boot disk you want. Let's use that and add the args inside of here. And power it up. 105. Hit escape. Boot from the floppy drive. Again, this is one I found on the internet. Ignore my drinking of tea. I think this came from bootdisks.com. But anyways, so first thing we want to do, let's make sure no partitions. In the case of NetWare, you want to allocate as much disk as you can to the sys volume on the disk for NetWare, and you don't really need that much DOS space. Even 100 meg is kind of pushing it, but we're going to go with 100 meg. Primary. Say no here. Make it 100 meg. Escape. Set active. 1. Escape. Let's just view it to make sure. 100 meg, primary DOS. Sweet. Now it's going to restart. Missing operating system. That is fine. Let us go over here and let's find the DOS boot disk that we uploaded to the machine. If you want to see the sort of background on this, watch my other video installing DOS. I go through a lot of this in there. Let's go QM monitor 105. Let's change the floppy disk over. Reset. Yes. Escape. Boot from that floppy. This is the DOS 6.2 installer. It should detect that drive C that we created out there of 100 meg and format it, and away it goes. Take the defaults. Now let's go over here and get disk 2 ready to change. Sorry. Disk 2, enter. And now let's go get disk 3 ready. I like to verify at the end that all of this worked correctly and that it looks at it as it is. So what we're going to do is go back and we are going to grab that DOS boot floppy, put that in there, and hit enter. Let's hit escape. Go to number 5. Let's just make sure. Okay. Looks good. Do a reset. We should come up off the hard drive now with our DOS install. And there it is. Now what do? We need to install our CD-ROM. Change that floppy over. Go to the A drive. I hate how it doesn't grab focus. Bingo. Back to the C drive. Make directory CD-ROM. Autoexec.bat. Excuse me again. Edit config.sys. These are my boot disk. You know, I should really just make up a real version of these. We just need to change the locations. C, change this one. C. And in this case, I'm going to make this /L : drive letter R. Reset it, make sure it all comes back up and works. We should now have an R drive that maps over to our CD-ROM. So far, so good. Now let's just... I hate how it doesn't get focus. Just one more time, primary DOS 102. I just triple check, quadruple check. At this point, we now have a DOS VM. And what I have done in the past, and I think I can publish this, is I made a backup copy of the VM. And then I took that backup copy and I sat it here. I've been testing with it, and I think it works to where you can run a QM restore command. I think it's just QM restore. Yep. And restore this VM to a machine. So I will try and publish this on my GitHub. So in theory, what I just did with creating a DOS VM with 100 meg partition should just be done for you, and you can do a QM restore. And I'll put the command up there on how to do it. You could get like to this point right here. We'll start with that, and then I might be able to add some more with it. At any rate, let's move on. Now we need to install Netware. What do we need to do? A couple things. First, yeah, I need a cough drop. Leftovers from VCF. The con flu muck turned into a cold. You know what? I'm going to pause this, and I'm actually going to go grab a cough drop. And I am back with cough drop. What did I do? I put the Novell ISO on there. We need to add the license diskette now to the image. And that is right here. And we go to Etsy, PVE, QEMU server. Look at the 105 file. Put that in there. The other thing we need to do here, and I've had some issues with this recently. I changed one of these. The randomization doesn't need to be completely random. And change that to PCNet. Again, in my other video, I mentioned why. You have to do that because the E1000, I haven't found a driver to work in Netware. The PCNet works. It's in KVM, but you can't select it in the user interface in Proxmox. So what do we got? ARGs, floppy, have Novell mounted as an ISO, and we have the PCNet driver. So now we should be able to fire it up. PCNet, go to console. Let's do a stop and a start. Reset doesn't always pick up all those changes, so stop and start does. Let's look at the floppy. Okay. And we should have the R drive. All right, Netware. Away we go. We're going to take the custom install this time. Server 4.11. Custom install. Server name. I'm going to pick 003. That randomly selects the internal network number. If you want to change it, you can. I've never found a need to. You know, I think back in the day, people actually had network numberings internal for their servers that followed a scheme. If anybody did Netware back in the day and changed those, I'd love to hear why. It's only been 30 years since I touched Netware, really. What do we need to queue up here? Any commands we're going to have to run? Nope. 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 We have everything. You know what I can do? I can go and hop on this router over here. No IPX servers. All right, code page. Standard. Do we want to change those things? No. AutoExec.bat. No, we don't want to start Netware automatically. And up it comes with the installer. It should have found the AMD PCNet here. Let's hope it worked because this failed on me earlier. Haha. Pick that. Enter. Tab. Stupid keyboard thing. Save parameters. Continue install. One of these days I'll figure out the SCSI drive. Or SCSI driver for the SCSI card that comes with Proxmox or one of the Proxmox drivers. Tried to do a little bit today. Could not find one that worked. Later. Come on. Now, in the simple installation, you don't get any options here. It just does it. We are going to modify these protocol settings because tab. Oh, shift. I don't want 802.3. And I want to change my network here to be my real one, which is 05000042. That is the IPX network on my Cisco. I showed it before. We'll show it again. Show run interface. I can't remember what it is. We'll find it here. It's my VLAN 42. Where is it? Here it is. VLAN 42, IPX network 05000042, encapsulation SAP, which is Cisco's 802.2. And we should have that in here. Enter. And let's hit F10 to go back. Let's hit enter just to make sure. All right. Continue. Netware. We are going to do automatically. This is the sys volume. We'll come back later. You could set this up manually if you wanted to do things with the sys volume. We're just going to let it do it. It found what we had left on that IDE drive. Tell it to use it. Save volume changes and continue. F10, yes. You could set it up mirrored here and a variety of other things, which, you know, a lot of people did way back when. You probably want your sys volume mirrored just in case. Yeah. Remember, but these are back in the days when hardware RAID controllers weren't common. We did software RAID a lot, especially on the x86 side. Looks good. Start installing. I don't know how long this is going to take. If it's slow, I will pause and come back. Because I don't think you want to sit here and watch a progress bar. I know, I'd rather not. How much of your life has been wasted to progress bars? Considering I've been staring at them since, I don't want to say when, 1991? Professionally? Oh well. Flip over to OBS and I will pause and come back. Through the magic of the OBS pause button, we are back here. I'm going to say this is my first Netware server. Enter a name for this directory. We'll go with the good old Initech. Where am I? I'm in the US and I am in Central. F10. I don't want to create any OUs. Password. Your admin. Save directory. Yep. I think it copies more files. This is what the third set of file copies it does. Blah, blah, blah. All right, license. Remember we put that in as the floppy in our config file. Let's see if it finds it. Boom. Found it. We will come back to this later, but for now we're just going to hit F10 to save it. Let's just look down here and make sure that everything looks good. We have the right network, mount all, that's good. F10 to save. By the way, F10 is pretty much save everywhere escape goes back. I think there's an abort that's something F10 too. This file copy takes longer than the last one. So once again, through the magic of the pause button in OBS, we will come back and see each other in a little while. That took longer than expected. A little small form factor machine is slower than I remember. But we are back. What do we do here? You know, while I am here, I am going to install the legacy NW admin utility. Because I can. It's here. Why not? I shouldn't be drinking tea at 1:30 in the morning. But hey, what's sleep for? Come on. Come on, little HP. You can do it. Copy, copy, copy. Got stuck watching an Alex Steele video. Old one. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, if you like machining, forging, welding, Brit who does some really cool stuff. All right. Do we want to do anything else? Yeah, we'll install IP later. Continue. Boom. Guess what? We have a Novell server. Got a license. Looks like everything is there. Let's go over here to my router. Show IPX servers. Haha, guess what we have? We have a Netware machine. Now what are we going to do? In a normal world, I could just stop right here, but in this case, I want to add a data volume, which you're probably going to want to do as well, and you're probably going to want to add long file name support. So now that we have this basic machine done, by the way, you could use this server as is right now. Like, it's a working Novell file server. You just can't do a whole lot with it yet because you don't have any place to store your data. Well, let's exit and let's power this down. What do we want to do? Let's go to hardware. And let's add a disk. This is where it gets kind of funky. There's an 8.4 gig limit in this particular version of Netware 4.11. In the future, I'll go through how to get beyond that limit in the 4.11. There's some things you can do, but excuse me. For now, I'm just gonna say 8 gig IDE. So we got 0, 1, and 2 for the CD-ROM. I'm gonna leave the CD-ROM on there for now. We probably should make it number 3 or something because it's the last. But anyways, we got a disk. Everything else is going to stay the same. Let's go to console. And let's do a start. Remember, we told it to not add server.exe to the startup. So we need to go to NW server and type server. Now what? Load install. Load. Type it correctly. What do we do? Let's go to the disks. Modify disks. Which one? I can't remember. So disk 1. Yeah, we got 0 and 1. Initialize it. Yes. Free space. What do we do now? Volume options. Add view volume segments. Insert or F3. F3. Device number 2. Sys. What did I miss? Oh, I forgot to create this, the partition. Duh. So you go back after you do the first part, create a partition table. Now we can do this. Save changes, F10, create network partition, yes. All right, now I can go back to the previous menu, and now we go down to volume options. Let's do F3 to insert. Now we got free space. Enter, make this segment a new volume, and let's call this data to the whole size. How do we do it? Hit F10 to save. Save F10. And save volume changes, yes. It's going to add that volume to the directory tree so you can see it. And let's do a mount them. Let's exit out of the installer and look. Mounting volume data. There we go. We have a new volume. Now let's add long naming support to these. I like to do 2 things, and I can never remember. Here's one for you. You want to see things, do a list devices. You can see those. And the other thing is config. You can see your configuration here. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, adding long. So let's load long.nam. And let's add namespace long to sys. Add namespace long to sys. As you're going to want long file names if you have anything beyond DOS, right? Add namespace long to data. Now we need to load long.name at startup. Go to NCF file options, startup.ncf, and down here we want to go load long. Once again, save file, F10, yes. Escape, escape, yes. So we should have long file names down here. Let's restart and make sure it all comes back up again. Exit, start back up server. Loading module, I saw it fly by there. Let's list volumes. I can't remember what it is. Is there a volumes command? I don't remember. Oh, just volume. Maybe that's it. Type it right. There we go. So we have, notice, sysand data, and they have long. So that's about it. You now have if you do this, you should have a Netware server, 4.11, with plenty of extra space to store stuff on, and you should be able to create yourself a user account, log into NDS, and all that. I think next up from here, I will work through. I'm going to try and do the SCSI configuration, see if I can get that working. If not, I don't know. We'll see. And the other one is TCP/IP. I'm going to work through that configuration, and I'll post how to do that. But anyways, take care. That should get you started. Good luck. If you got any questions, post comments. Love to hear any success stories. Take care. Laters.